Hey everybody, welcome to the Weight Loss by Pete podcast. You're watching this live on YouTube or listening on the simulcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Today we're going to go over how to stick to your nutrition at a party. And this idea came to me earlier today. So I have a whole myriad of different programs that I offer to my clients, to my group members. And if you want to learn more about that, just go to weightlossbypete.com/services. That link will be in the description below. But I have a strictly nutrition program where these are clients who feel they have their fitness and other health needs met, and that the last thing that they need help with is their nutrition. So the first week we'll do a dietary analysis. I'll have them eat as normal. I know a lot of people like to start off the right way, or the right way, air quotes, if you're not able to view this, but I want to make sure I can give you specific recommendations to your taste so that you don't feel deprived, because the second you feel deprived and the second you treat this like a diet, your chances of succeeding are slim to none. So let me show you. I got this with permission, of course. If you're watching, I'm going to show you a little bit of this text conversation I had with this client. So to give you a little bit of a preface, she had been on an extended vacation for almost a month. She just got back. Nutritionally, she was not the best on the vacation. She continued to work with me. She didn't put anything on hold. But unfortunately, we didn't get the results that we wanted. Fast forward a little bit to the present, she's been back a couple of weeks and it's still been a slog. She was strong towards the end of last week, and then this week has been all downhill, and I asked why that was. So I got this first answer for you here. Let me just pull it up for you. The heck? Oh, here we go. Nope. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull this up for you, and for some reason, Google is not allowing me to. But it's basically a text, and it reads, let me pull it up here. All right, so I said, first things first, how was yesterday? We hadn't really been in touch. And she said, not good. And I'm reading this to you now, so if you're listening, not a big deal. Here's part of the problem. When I know there's something coming up, I feel like there is no point getting on track for a day or two. And tonight, we're going to dinner at our friend's house where they are only making apps and I have no control over it. I can control what I eat, but that is super rude to not eat what they cook, especially since it's only the four of us. So I'm sure a lot of people have fallen into this type of issue in the past. And look, I get it to an extent. I get it in that, you know, this is something that we have to deal with when we have hosts who actually want to cook for us. They're taking their time, they're spending their money, and it's understandable that if they had certain fare in mind, we feel like we're kind of being intrusive and asking for specialties or, you know, things to be omitted, things to be brought in. But at the end of the day, there's just a really, really quick shift in language that we have to have. So for some reason, I'm doing this through Google Live or Google Hangouts, excuse me, and it's being simulcast here on YouTube. I'm not able to pull up the screen share. So if you're watching, I'm really sorry about that. But what I'm going to do, technology, is I'm going to read you the next part of our conversation. So the next part of our conversation says, you know, and to preface this again, I told her about a relative I have where when we do have a home-based event where it's, you know, family, you know, maybe some good friends, and it's a small gathering, I have some relatives who are vegetarian, and that we've known this for years. The first time she came, probably over a decade ago, she had told my parents who were hosting something, and my parents made accommodations then, and it's since kind of become part of the ritual. It's not really a big deal. We don't question why she does it. Don't think anything of it. It's just like, okay, she's vegetarian. But she came out, she told them, gave them advance notice, and everything was fine. So then her response was, well, vegetarian is one thing, diet is another. People hear diet and automatically want to steer you off of it, like automatic reaction. It's misery loves company. True. My response was then, it can't be a diet for you, though. It has to be something you adapt into your life. If it's a diet, it's never going to work, because then what are you going to do when or if you reach your goal? And then she responded, I know that, but that's the way to explain it. I said, well, the way to explain it is instead of saying temporary type stuff like I'm staying away from bread right now because I'm on a diet, say something like I don't eat bread, just like my relative told us, I am vegetarian. So can you prepare things that don't have bread or breadcrumbs in them? Just like my relative would have said, can you prepare a vegetarian dish for me and maybe have a couple of vegetarian snacks on hand so I don't feel left out, so I can actually calm, enjoy myself, and eat something? And then she's like, I guess I could say that. And I said, yes, you can. So moral of the story, guys, if you're going to an event where you know the food is being planned in advance, and we just had the holidays, whether it was Christmas, Thanksgiving here in the States, Hanukkah, if you celebrate, if you're Jewish, whatever. If you went to a holiday party and the hosts were preparing for you, you obviously knew about it pretty far in advance, at least a week. Usually it's more like a month, sometimes even more so in advance. Then just let them know as soon as you find out and you commit to it. Hey, I don't eat bread. Hey, I don't eat dairy. Hey, I don't eat this. I don't eat that. Let them know and just say, can you please prepare some? You know, they don't have to accommodate either for the whole thing, but say, can you change a couple of things or add a couple of things that I can actually eat so I can eat while I'm there and I can enjoy myself? And just that little tiny shift in your language, you're doing essentially the same thing, except instead of saying you're on a diet and like my client said, misery loves company, you're actually then just saying, look, this is how it is. So can you please accommodate me? And any gracious host would be more than happy to. And in the very rare chance, like when people have said stuff like that to me when they were coming over, I didn't care. Okay, sure. What? Not a big deal, especially when it was within 24 hours or further ahead of time. If it was the day of, obviously that can be a little bit of a pain in the ass. This was the case for my client. So today I told her, okay, just take your time. Don't eat too much of this crap. Try and eat beforehand and, you know, maybe have a bite here, a bite there to appease them. But going forward, this is what you have to say. Say, look, I don't eat bread. Look, I don't eat fried stuff. Look, I don't eat that. Please accommodate in your mind when you're preparing. And that's good. And you're probably sitting there thinking, well, Pete, that's all well and good, but what about a party or an event where it's being catered and even the hosts don't necessarily have a lot of control over it? They selected a menu, sure, but they don't prepare it. They don't control what's in the food. So there's a couple of things you can do. Let's say that you're going to a wedding. Regardless of whether it's nearby, you have to travel and stay in a hotel or stay with a relative or a friend, whatever. Let's say you're going to a wedding. Usually, weddings are in the afternoon into the evening. So what you can do is you eat a big meal before the reception where the food is actually being served. You get a healthy meal. I'm sure if you're traveling, there are restaurants in the area that can accommodate you. Maybe there's a grocery store nearby where you can pick up something that you can prepare, especially if you're staying with a friend or a relative. There's always ways around it. Preparation is the key word. That's the key thing to keep in mind at all times. If there's stuff on the menu, whether it's the hors d'oeuvres coming around that the waiters and waitresses are bringing around, they're not going to be as tempting to you if you actually ate beforehand, if you're actually full. And it's like, I don't want anything. I just ate. I'm fine. And then if it's a long-term thing, you got to ask the host, can I please have a copy of the menu? I don't eat XYZ. So I want to make sure there's something there that I can eat. If there is something, great. Order that, stick to that, stay away from the stuff that you're either not sure of or you know is not conducive to your nutritional and weight loss goals, and you'll be in the clear. Another thing you can do too, regardless again of whether it's nearby or you have to travel to this event, bring a snack in the car, and then if you're a female, keep it in your bag that you're bringing inside. Or if you're a male and you have a +1 and she's a female, have her take your snack in with you. And then a really fun tip, which you can use to try and blend in a little bit, is let's say there's like a little buffet. Like I was at a wedding over this past summer in 2017. It's 2018 now, obviously. And they had like a little buffet thing prior to the actual wedding reception where they serve you like dinner and dessert, like a 3 or 4 course meal. So at this thing, what you could do is you pick up a plate. Maybe there's a few things like a salad or certain things that you would actually eat that don't look or appear to be too bad, if not bad at all. And then you take out your snack, whether if you're a female, it's from your bag, if you're a guy, from the female's bag, and You can put it on the plate, sprinkle it in. Nobody will be the wiser. Maybe if somebody spots in like, oh, where'd you get the cashews? Or where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? Say, oh, I brought it. You know, I just didn't know if I could eat anything here. And that's it. So people don't care nearly as much about the changes you're making as you think. If you're nice about it, if you ask far enough in advance, and if you plan, you can still continue to succeed on your health and weight loss journey. It doesn't matter if you're cooking at home, if you're going to someone's home, or you're going to a catered event. Preparation is the key word, thinking ahead, because you're always going to know about this probably at least a few days in advance. A simple Google search will be able to tell you there's a grocery store or restaurant nearby where you can pick up or eat something that's going to help hold you over until the event is over if there's nothing there that you can eat. Or if someone's preparing something for you again, they're going to be more than willing to accommodate you, especially if you give them advance notice. So if a week ahead of time, you're like, hey, I just want to let you know I don't eat bread. I don't eat certain types of food. Can you please prepare a dish? A dish. Don't ask for the whole gamut to be centered around you, but can you please prepare a dish that doesn't contain this? And they probably will not just prepare one dish, but probably the whole thing or close to the whole thing so that it's more convenient for you and everybody can enjoy the food together. I hope you guys found this helpful. So do me a favor. If you like this video, if you like listening to this podcast, please subscribe by clicking the button below. Button is here if you're watching the video. I'm pointing to it if you're listening. Otherwise, if you're listening, it's pretty clear where you can subscribe. And also one last thing, I'm giving away a free report. It details the 5 strategies I personally use to lose 100 pounds and keep them off. Excuse me. There's the same 5 strategies I teach my permanent weight loss clients. All you have to do is click the link in the description below, weightlossbypete.com/5 strategies, and it'll take you straight there. Thanks so much for watching. Again, I'm Pete Weintraub, permanent weight loss specialist, signing off. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll talk to you on Monday. Take care.